So vele advocate Teffo, even after him trying to come after Julius Malema, trying to paint Julius Malema bad and say that Julius Malema was one of the people who made his life horrible when he was in prison. Even after that, the people of South Africa still used him and left him in the wilderness and don't care about him anymore. It's like it's done with Advocate Teffo Vele. He did a couple of podcasts. They made numbers because he came with shock value. But the cloud is done now. Nobody wants to interview him anymore. That's it. You guys used him just like that. Yeah, South Africa. They always do this, yes. People of South Africa always do this. They usually do this with new political parties. They usually do this with new people who speak so much against the system. And I can name a couple of people who they've done what they've done to Advocate Teffo. Advocate Teffo, though, his rise and his fall was way too quick. For 1 minute, he was the most trending guy for a week. And then after that, he was gone, like completely erased from the internet. And nobody's talking about him. Nobody cares. Damn. People of South Africa will use you. They did the same with Ntlalax, you know. Ntlalax was on the rise. Then he faded away. They did the same with many people, you know. And political parties. Gayton Mackenzie's party last year was on the very high rise on the cloud base. People of South Africa, they gassed him up. Now they're turning against him. With Advocate Teffo, they're not even turning against him. They're just not entertaining him. Advocate Teffo came out and said that Julius Malema, Peggy and Ronald Lamola were the three politicians who made his life a living hell because of the way they were handling his situation. With Julius Malema is the way Julius Malema was speaking about him. Julius was speaking about how much as an advocate is reckless, is unprofessional, and all of that. So maybe he got offended by that, and then he named Julius Malema's name. I'm sure he was thinking it was gonna trend because he was naming Julius Malema. He thought, yeah, it was gonna trend for a couple of months. Nyana, people are gonna be asking, what do you mean? What do you mean? Nobody even asked, what do you mean? Not even one person asked, what do you mean? They just did like, eh? And then they passed away. That's crazy. Guys, let me ask you a simple question. Do you know where Advocate Teffo is? Do you know what he's up to? Have you supported him in whatever he's doing? How is his court case going? How is his battles with the court going? Is he back in the practice? You guys don't even know that, right? And the worst part is that many of these people out here in South Africa, they were so eager and ready to want to be led by Advocate Teffo. They were calling him leadership. Advocate Teffo is what we thought Julius Malema would be. You know, they like that. They like to say that. Advocate Teffo is the next big thing. He should start a political party. We're going to support him. The problem with our people in South Africa, we have so much poor leadership in the top level government from the ANC, Sir Ramaphosa, to the point where the way it's so weak, it's even reflecting in how our people behave, because our people are so eager to be led by someone, and they want to be led by anyone. They want to be led by Advocate Teffo. You wouldn't believe me if I told you there was a time when Advocate Teffo was speaking in podcast and people of South Africa were saying, open a podcast, we are going to support you. That's how hungry our people are and desperate for leadership. That's why they always vote for new parties. When there's a new party, they always get that hype. And then after like 6 months, they complain about that new party which they were hyping, and they turn against it and they complain, but there's too many parties. They do that, self-sabotage our people in South Africa. The other day, the general of the SANDF, the South African National Defence Force, was speaking about how he went to Iran and why and all of that, kind of like rebelliously speaking in a very assertive way, man being sure of himself. People of South Africa were so desperate for him to lead them. Yeah, this guy should usurp the government. He should be the leadership. We need him and Mkwanazi. That's how much our people are desperate for anyone to lead them. Now Operation Tutula, but he's starting a new political party. That's how desperate our people are. They will go vote for Operation Tutula, they will vote for Floyd, they will vote for whatever. Because our people are desperate like that. But the way they used Advocate Teffo, I still sit back and think about it. I'm like, yo, Advocate Teffo, the way you came out with so much smoke, so much fire that your podcast on McG's platform made even over 1 million views. Because that's how much eager people were ready to listen to you because of the files you were carrying. Only for you, Mr. Advocate, therefore, to even fail to monetize that clout, fail to monetize that attention. Should have started your own podcast. You should have started something that is going to keep you in the limelight, that is going to keep people interested in you. And the problem is that you went into podcast and you spoke about everything people wanted to know. You couldn't even hold back some information and tell them, I'll wait for part 2, I'm going to share these deep things. You gave it all away. No papa is like you were at the top of your game and you fell down way too quick. Advocate therefore, man. Advocate therefore. It's a shame, man. It happens always, this thing in South Africa. There's a person who rise way too quick to the top and they fall way too quick down. It's like a normal thing in South Africa. It happens every day with artists, with musicians, with celebrities, actors, with soccer players, soccer stars, movie stars. It happens with politicians, with YouTubers, content creators. The rise be way too quick and the downfall be way too quick. But hey, whatever happened to Advocate Teffo must be studied in University of Studying a Downfall. Because that's crazy, man. And the pity is that it will take me to bring this conversation alive. And then people will bash me for bringing this conversation alive. While they were the ones who have forgotten about him. Me, I'm the one bringing him alive. Making you remember that there was even Advocate there for once upon a time. Less than a month ago. He even forgot. Less than a month ago. But yeah, man. Advocate therefore. Bye-bye. But yeah, good luck in whatever you're doing. But it seems like the social media space is not for you. So speaking too much, thinking that you're going to sustain it. Clearly, you don't have tactics to sustain the clout you were given. You failed. But yeah, man, it is what it is. We thank you very much. Tango.